This program is set up for you guys to experience massive success. Your presentation is very, very key. Saturday, I got a call and I'll give you guys a quick example because this is how important this is to you guys as sales individuals. Calls me on Saturday. I was supposed to pick up my dry cleaning to get suited up the day before or that day of. My whole mindset was already pre-programmed. I was like, I'm gonna go get the dry cleaning, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna be ready because you never know. Somebody might want to do a transaction. I've been writing that down, like live transactions, decision makers now will close the deal in 2 weeks type of attracting. My auto suggestion, that's what it's been. Make a very long story short, we had to deliver a truck to a customer. I didn't get the dry cleaning. 1:30, I get a phone call. The gentleman's all like 911, list me now. I told him it's not a part of my regimen to show up without a tie and a suit, but if you need me to go now, I want you to know that I'm underdressed, like casual wear. He says, I don't care, come by. I thought about it like 2 times. Matter of fact, on my way to the appointment, I felt like crap every single part of the way because I knew that I could have done a better job of a presentation. The book itself said it today. You show up and they've already hired you. They've already paid a higher amount of money just because of your presentation without you having to handle those type of objections. Anyway, make a very long story short, I get there, presentation is finely tuned, the checklist is there. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm missing several things that I'm gonna push you guys to do. What are we missing? I think one of the biggest thing is,
I like the handwritten one, the handwritten note.
I think the biggest thing is really write down that you were applying for a specific position. And I think that position is for just selling your home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we make it too broad, like get into the photos and all that. It's like, I think we should be like, hey, when you're dealing with a buyer too, I'm here to get you a house. That's the position I'm applying for. It also mentioned that you should be offered to work on probation. I'm thinking, how do we work on probation? Maybe, and how do you wrap it up into a probation contract? You know what I mean? Like, hey, give me 60 days to get it sold at this specific price, like a probation period. Does that make any sense to you? Like, hey, give me 2 weeks to find you the house that you're gonna live in. Guys, if you guys are spending more than a week to find a home for a customer to move into, you're not doing it properly. Something's wrong. I'm not saying you, and this is not to like put you down, but let's train to make it better. We should be 1 week type of brokers that, hey, we get them from pre-qual stage to put them into escrow in 1 week just because we've set up the customer like that. And if they're not getting into escrow in 1 week, that means that we're working with clients that are not really, really ready to make a decision right now. They've already predestined in their mind that they're going to be looky-loose for 3 months. And the reflection to you is a bunch of wasted time. Does that make any sense to you guys? So how many of you guys have really seen deals develop this week? I've seen so much just like this. I'm like, damn, we're getting into closings and all that type of stuff. Need to work on your mindset. And again, I'm telling you, this is crazy, but I'm seeing the results of writing stuff down. I'm going to have that pull the way I want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make that, and this is just, I'm telling you, because once you see it happen, you're like, why does he continue to make these things happen? There's no secret sauce. It's just writing down the success. I keep writing down here that I have $1 million in cash. Even if I don't have $1 million in cash and I get 300,000 in cash, wouldn't you guys be happy with that? $500,000, wouldn't you be happy with that? Absolutely. It would change the dynamic of the way you're waking up every single day, whether you're happy or whether you're down. It makes all the difference. Find out reflect on what happened last month. Your kids, Teresa, you have a young man in your family. Implementing the goal setting is so weird, but once you get it broken through, you're gonna be like, wow, I am improving everybody. And I think that's more than leaving the family millions and millions of dollars. I think having that foundation is more. Ask yourself, what were your 3 biggest lessons that you learned this past month? Like, ask yourself. I would do this assessment too. You already have it. So, yeah. So, and I want you guys to practice. It's so easy to fall off. Journaling is kind of cool, to be honest with you guys. And writing stuff down, I think it's pretty cool. No, it wasn't cool before, but now I'm like, hey, this is really serious stuff. to me, the most important part of life is what are my priorities right now? You know what I mean? Like, how do I really want to enjoy? And to be honest with you, it's not even that difficult. What, showing up every single day at 8:30 and just really, really prospecting, hitting the phones, showing homes in the nighttime, showing homes on the weekend. Like, that's not difficult. Whoever said that was difficult is wrong. That's actually very, very easy and fun. And you get to be in air-conditioned facilities all day long versus having to really think about the people that are really putting in the work. But you have to determine what are your priorities. On the top of your list, you should have prospecting all the time. You know, tell me why I developed a deal last night as I was sitting in my couch. Because I was thinking about prospecting. Who do I text next? I told you, make this assessment. If you're not getting any texts that are business related, you're slow. Do you know how other businesses determine how profitable they are? They have sales records, and in those records, they get live feed of what the incoming sales are. For you guys need to see how many text messages per day am I legitimately talking about businesses. And if you're not, I would be scared. I'm be like, I'm setting up my business for failure in the next 2 to 3 months. So you know what I do every single night? I open up my business for business when I sit in that couch instead of watching TV. And I'm sending text messages. Hey, by the way, we're ready to do the pre-call. Hey, by the way, did you think about if you want to list your home now? Hey, by the way, look at this property. I just found it on Zillow. It's a very nice property for you. Conversation starters. And that's how you rate how well your business is going to do in the next few months. But you need to rate your priorities. And your priorities, number 1, prospecting. 2nd, family. And 3rd, you can do whatever you want to on that one. And if anybody tells you that being fanatical about work, they're wrong. Does that make any sense to you guys? What did you guys accomplish last month? I'm going to ask you this repeatedly. How many deals did you close last month? Did you close enough deals for you to feel like you're that good? Does that make any sense? Did you close that many deals? Some people are walking around like they've closed 100 deals, and it's like, no, you have not. You need to really, really focus on your prospecting technique. So for you, David, I've been really, really pushing for you to do an assessment. This is for everybody here. Do an assessment of your financial position last month. Compare last month to this month, what's going to happen, and then take it a step beyond that and do comparison of last month and last May 2019, a year-to-year comparison. David, what did you do last May that worked out for you that you didn't do this May? You won't know what's happening until you really make these very, very small assessments. I get so crazy that I even write down the arguments that I have at home. I'm like, what did I do well that avoided confrontation? What did I do differently? Typically, my confidence is driven by sales. I don't know why. I think that would be the exact same thing. So they say you'll have a way different walk in your step if you're closing 3 deals every single month. The only thing that's holding you back from that is your own mind. I know COVID was a big curveball. For me, it was too. I had days where I'm like, damn. I would look at the phone calls and I'm like, damn, is this a cancellation? Another cancellation over COVID-19? And what were you supposed to tell people? Were you supposed to force them to close the escrow? Not under those market conditions, I don't think so. So find out what it was. Most importantly is, what are you grateful for? Like, what were you really thankful? I'm thankful so far that I'm still able to see you guys. Does that make any sense? I'm very thankful for that. What are you thankful for? Your health? I don't know. It could be anything. Stuff is moving along. You're taking baby steps, but you're in the right direction. Remember, it's not about how fast you get there. It's about how consistent you can be. And it starts with the baby things. Like, wouldn't you think that it's so dumb to think about, like, oh, it's just a book? Guys, I would be darn proud of myself if I read this much into a book. I guarantee you guys that a lot of you guys haven't read this far into a book, like, since ever. You know why? Because it takes a lot of discipline to really, really sit, open a book and read it. Because we're programmed for Instagram, we're programmed for social media, we're programmed for us wanting to be in the front lines of what's the gossip that's happening. Does that make sense? And that's very normal. Use it towards your advantage. So this is what we're wrapping up with. Name 3 things that you can improve with this coming month. Do you guys know that we're about to finish the second quarter? We literally have what, 21 days in the second quarter?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what did the first quarter do for you? Like, if you guys don't know your numbers, then you need to sit down and talk. As a matter of fact, you guys have a stay out right here, right in the front line now. She can tell you what you've done. She'll print out a graph where it says how many closings you've had. If you're not aware, look at those closings. Some people would make more money working at McDonald's. That's the reality. And this is not a statistic that I'm saying to you guys. I'm saying as a real estate industry. So when people are watching it and I put it on YouTube, a lot of you guys that are signed up in real estate would make more money working at McDonald's. So those top 3 things that you got to improve for me is prospecting, number 1. Number 2 is follow-up. I need to improve my follow-up. And number 3, I got to close these deals. I got to start requesting these contracts to be signed and executed. Does that make any sense to you guys? Thinking Real Rich gave you guys a very, very solid blueprint today of what you need to do. So today, when you're saying your commitments, don't say those commitments for yourself so you could feel good, but say those commitments because you have people that are watching. How do you think I can go back to my family and tell them that I can't give them the lifestyle that I've been able to provide for the last 10 years? You know how sad that would be? And all it takes is for me to really, really let loose on this. All of a sudden feel like, oh, I already got money in my pocket. I'm good for this month. Refuse to think like an average individual. One of the things that I would write down is that, and this is something, the affirmation that I use every single day, I will lend, I will not borrow. I'm not talking about amongst yourself with your family members. I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about having the ability to, and I get it, we all want to have, there's debt that's positive debt, but buying a like literally, I have a client that 2 days ago went to go look at a property, and how does she have $600,000 cash and just sitting in a bank account? And I don't even think she's as smart as all of us put together here. I don't think she's gone through any type of mastermind training. But you know what it is? It's a willingness to commit to a process where you can execute. Does that make any sense to you guys? So, it's already 9:05. This is our affirmations, please.